Hi, and welcome along to AFTV. I'm here with a bit of an update on this whole European Super League. Of course, we all know what's been happening over the past couple of days. This disgusting action by 12 clubs around Europe, 6 of those clubs based here in the UK, including Arsenal, Tottenham, Manchester United, Manchester City, Chelsea and Liverpool, all planning to break away from UEFA to start their own European Super League. It was a sneakily done action. No fans consulted, not even the players consulted on this. But now we're hearing today, after lots of pressure, after lots of fans protesting, after lots of anger, from not just fans, from the government, from football players, from ex-players. We heard Jurgen Klopp last night, even in his press conference, being very upset about this whole, Super League, European Super League, proposed Super League. Well, the breaking news is that Chelsea are planning to leave, to withdraw from the European Super League. I'm also hearing that Manchester City are another team that are going to withdraw from the Super League. And there's rumours as well that Atletico Madrid might be leaving it as well. So the rats are deserting the sinking ship right now. This is great news. This is where it starts. This is where this whole thing is going to end up being, disbanded, hopefully. But well done to, you know what? No, I'm not even going to say well done, because they should never have done it in the first place. But Chelsea withdrawing, at least they're taking the right step in coming out of this, because this is an absolute disgrace. As DeMario says, the Super League is crumbling, and that is great news. This is the most anti-football thing to ever happen. I can't even. I was trying to think today what I can remember as bad as this. It's hard to remember something as bad as this. This has just been totally just terrible. But if these teams are starting to withdraw, it's good news. It is really, really good news. Errol James saying there, fantastic. No to the Super League. Josely saying, enough is enough. Kroenke out. Josh Bloomfield saying City and Chelsea never wanted to join. I wouldn't go as far as saying that, because listen, it was all done in secret, behind the scenes. They all knew what they were getting themselves into. Listen, if they're pulling out, great. That's all I can say. This gentleman, sorry, I can't pronounce your name there, but he says, imagine the look on those snide faces of the owners, especially Kroenke and the Glazers after this development. Deserve every bit of stick they get. Ian here, who's obviously a Chelsea fan, he says, I'm proud of my club. I wouldn't go as far to say proud, because they were going to do this thing. It's be proud of your fans, Ian. Be proud of your fans and all the other fans, not just of Chelsea, but of all the other clubs that are putting the pressure on, because this is what pressure can do. This is what pressure can do. So, Ian, when you say proud of your club, be proud of the fans of Chelsea. I'll be proud of them tonight, and I'll be saluting them and saying well done to them as well, if this news is true and Chelsea are withdrawing. But, this is being reported. It's been reported on BBC's website, on Sky, a lot of really in-the-know journalists. So this is great news. Jaden says, I'm appalled that Arsenal didn't make this move first, but I'll take it. Is it a surprise? Stan Kroenke? He'll probably be the last one out. Let's be real right now. Brian says, Chelsea, Atletico, City, and Barcelona are leaving. If all 4 of those go, it's a waste of time. If to be honest, even Chelsea leaving is very, very significant. Very, very significant. Yoki is the name, says fans still have a voice in football. Good on the fans. And you know what? If I'm going to be proud of anybody with these teams starting to say that they're going to leave, I'm proud of the fans right now. And I'm not just talking about Arsenal fans. I'm talking about every football fan out there. I just took my son to his football training, and every single parent, and trust me, the parents there support various different clubs. Every single one was against this, you know? So good on the fans. It's the pressure that the fans are putting on. Alex Smith says, as a United fan, I feel Arsenal, United, Liverpool will be the last to leave due to the greed of their American owners. And Alex, I agree with you. You know what I mean? I was chatting to my friend yesterday over in America. My really, really good friend, Steve Manios, who's been an Arsenal fan for years and years and years. One of these guys that goes around the whole world taking the gospel of Arsenal. He goes to watch games with different fan groups all around America. And he's like, Robbie, I hope this doesn't lead to a backlash on American fans. Because he said, Robbie, you've seen how much we love Arsenal. And I said, listen, of course I have. And I hope this is nothing to do with the fans in America. This is to do with some greedy owners that want to take over football. Mikam says, I'm a Tottenham fan, and seeing every fan come together is amazing. Us in America hates the Super League. You've got to make a shirt saying, I lasted longer than the Super League. Brilliant. Bob Jones says maybe Kroenke gets so pissed off he sells it. That would be brilliant news. I was talking with one of our guys today, Tej, and we were saying, listen, that's the next step. If this Super League thing gets called off, then we've got to start thinking about getting these owners off. Jack says we need to get behind Turkish, sell Arsenal. We know Turkish has been very vociferous on that all along. Just got here. Osman says Josh Kroenke will inherit the club and will never sell Arsenal. His mother is a Walmart heiress. Walmart will be worth over 50 billion in 10 years. Kroenkes are going nowhere. Well, I'll tell you what, this could be the start of the pressure that gets rid of these sort of guys. Walla Walla says, come on, Arsenal fans. We can create a better turnout outside the Emirates on Friday. Pawsey, your support. There is this talk of a big protest outside the Emirates on Friday night to, again, get our owners to get out of this. Hopefully, we won't even need that protest because the whole thing is crumbling. James, great to have you on, mate. You would have seen the news as well. Chelsea, they're leaving. It looks like Manchester City are leaving. There's even guys in the chat now saying that Arsenal have left. What's your thoughts on it?
I am over the moon, Robbie. I'm absolutely over the moon. I genuinely, it's very rare I come on a stream or do a video with you and I feel emotional. I feel very emotional. I don't know what's happening with Arsenal yet, but this is such a good step. And I just want to reiterate what everyone's been saying in the comments, what you've been saying. Don't let up. All right. We've got the Kroenkes where we want them now, in the spotlight. Get these parasites out of our club, because I'll be honest, I've been a part of the problem. I've sat back, I've looked at some of the money that's been spent here and there, and I've gone, maybe they do care. That's a nice PR exercise. He told us to be excited. Maybe they're trying to do things in a self-sustaining way. Maybe I can respect that. Oh, Josh Kroenke came to watch a cup tie. Maybe he cares. No, they don't. They do not care. They don't care. They've taken this club that is built on the most amazing history and amazing foundations and the most amazing stories, and they try to butcher it. And they're going to butcher our future. This is the fire has been fueled now, and Turkish more than anyone stands up for this. Let's get behind it. Everyone's all organizing protests. Let's do it. Let's get them out. Honestly, sorry, I've come on. I've got a lot of energy in me. When you said, you're doing this stream, we're going live, I was like, yeah, we've got to talk about this. I couldn't agree more, Robbie, with everything you've been saying.
Yeah, no, and as I said, the news that I'm hearing right now, I mean, a lot of people are saying that Arsenal have pulled out. I haven't seen that yet, but what I am definitely seeing is that Chelsea definitely pulling out, and Man City as well, also preparing to pull out as well. So, if those two are out, and there's rumors that Atletico are going to pull out of it as well.
And
that
Barcelona.
only leaves, well, there's rumors of Barcelona as well. That means it's done. It's done. Unless the Arsenal Tottenham, Man United are going to join up with Real Madrid and play this thing on their own, you know. And it will be great to see those little rats. I saw that Florentino Perez. He's a disgrace to Real Madrid.
Absolutely.
Let's these guys are going around and they've got tagged on these clubs to their names when they're making these statements and that. Honestly, he's a disgrace to true Real Madrid fans, just like the Cronkies are a disgrace to Arsenal. Honest to God, man. I mean, it's unbelievable. Unbelievable news. I'm absolutely gassed right now because I was really frightened that this wouldn't happen and that these guys would just hang on for dear life. But the momentum's been building. It's been building and building and building, and now it finally looks like they're backing down. Pranav says Kroenke is one of the vice chairmen of the ECL. He will not back down easily. We need to get him out of the club. Arsenal will never win the league while he's the owner. Kroenke out. Well, listen, as far as this thing is, right, this thing's concerned, he has to back down if all these other clubs pull out. They've got nothing left.
I completely agree. Listen, the Super League doesn't exist anymore. I mean, it barely existed as it was under the name Super League, but it definitely doesn't now because all these teams were founding members, right? They all released a statement. They've seen the reaction, and listen, shame on Man City, Chelsea, Barcelona, Atletico for joining it and founding it in the first place, but good on them for responding in the right way. But this is just the start of a wider fight that I think has been ignored too long in football fandom and government, which is the ownership of clubs, especially in England. What criteria you need to have, how it works. You look at the German system, and the reason they never got into this mess is because they nailed it before it became a problem. And this is now, there's one good thing that comes out of this, and I believe it could be a very good thing that comes out of this. It never happens. And now all eyes are on these owners and people realizing, oh, wow, look at what they can do behind our backs without even knowing. Look what they threaten to do. And look how they look to destroy communities in this country for their own personal greed. It's an absolute effing disgrace, Robbie. And the momentum is there now. That it's there. And we've got to keep it going. We've got to, because it's easy for them when we're not in the grounds. But we're going to be in the grounds for Brighton. We've got one game in about a month's time. We're going to be there. Right?
This is that momentum going. Osman's saying that. He's saying, Robbie, how can we leverage this moment to get the Cronkies out once and for all? What can we do as Arsenal fans to take back our beloved club? What is the number one action we can take against the betrayal? That is the right word. Betrayal by the Cronkies. Johan says, thank you, Robbie, and your team for keeping us in touch with the pulse of this thing. Love from the Trini Posse. Big up the Trini Posse. Power to the people. Trust me. Power to the fans. As I said, there was a fan who sent a message through earlier, and he said, I'm proud of my club, Chelsea. As I said, don't be proud of your club, Chelsea, as in regarding the owners. Be proud of your fans.
Yeah, I agree.
Be proud of your fans at Chelsea because it's the pressure. I know that Chelsea fans. I was chatting to Rory earlier. Me and him we were on a podcast with the guys from Redmen TV, United Stand, esteemed company, Man City, and also Flav, Tottenham fan. We were on that, and he had to leave the stream early because he goes, I'm going down to the ground for the protest, and then he posted some pictures. He posted some pictures in the group of the protests, and well done to those Chelsea fans. Well done to all football fans. It's the pressure that the football fans have been putting on this. Why we are seeing what is happening now.
The thing I've loved is there's a lot of media outlets who have covered this and they've said the right things, but you question their own kind of history and moral compass at times. But one of the things I've absolutely loved is I've genuinely not heard, apart from the sort of 0.2% of idiots out there, I've genuinely not heard of any fans from the big six clubs who actually wanted this to happen. And the amount of fan channels who've used their platform to speak out about this, big up Goldbridge, big up everyone who's sort of try to educate us on this and why it's so bad, because there'll be a lot of people who wouldn't understand why this is bad, and that's okay. But big up everyone, the fans who went to protest, everyone. I really believe this is the start of the end. And I remember talking about it, Robbie, and I remember saying that I didn't really believe this was going to happen. There might be some sort of other format, but this sounds like a complete liquidation of the whole thing. I really hope that's how it continues, honestly.
I mean, keep talking now. I'm just checking on.
You're checking on the news. I'll have a look at some comments. But, yeah, just to reiterate,
still seeing. Yep, sorry, keep going. Click up some of these, right? I'm still going through some news here.
Well done. Do you know what? This may be AFTV, but up the Chelsea, you got to say it. I mean, their fans have been absolutely superb. ESL out, I agree, and turn that to Kroenke out. That's the next thing. Football one.
Brighton players wearing T-shirts today, by the way, protesting about the European Super League as well. The same sort of T-shirts that were worn last night by the Leeds players, where it's saying you've got to earn it. Football is for the fans. So well done to the Brighton players for wearing that today. You can imagine how embarrassed our Arsenal players are, you know, for something that's nothing to do with them. It's not their fault, by the way. Yeah. It's not their fault. And can you imagine how those players must feel? That, you know, because right now the fans of all the clubs have turned on the club.
Yeah.
And it's not the players' faults.
And do you know what? Gary Neville has spoken so admirably on this topic, but he was kind of sarcastically saying, you know, come on Villa, come on Everton for their fixtures towards the end, you know, that they've got this week. And I understand the sentiment behind that. I'm not having a dig here. But the point is that there was going to be heavy backlash on these teams and managers who had nothing to do with the development of said league. And the thing that's so frustrating, we have got a massive end to the season. A massive end to the season. What on earth will this have done for the players? And long term, obviously, what would it have done to football? The whole thing was a complete mess. I saw no good in it. I saw absolutely no good in it whatsoever. Nor did you, nor did anybody. I couldn't agree with you more. You know, what are these players thinking? Apparently they today, the latest update I saw was they still haven't been briefed by the execs at Arsenal to tell them what the hell's going on. It's a disgrace. And I know we talk about the Kroenkes and that's the start, but I want to start looking at Vinay. I want to start looking at other people. What were you doing in all this? That's important too, but we start with the top because we neglect the top too much.
Yeah, Shuja says, Robbie, this is it. We've weakened the monster. The Kroenkes, we need to finish them. We won't have a better chance than this. That's a great point there. Newman says, though, will Arsenal's spineless fans have the guts to kick out the Kroenkes? Well, listen, the noise that has been coming from the Arsenal fans as well is helping in this whole process. Abdurub says these kind of parasites need to be banned from going anywhere near football. That's the point that you was making earlier on. You know, so I'll tell you, this is a moment. Seems like a moment.
I hope so. There's an interesting twist to this, which is that obviously the two clubs have left. Man City as well. Let's pick up Man City. You know, obviously they're not American owned, and there's this kind of theory, you know, that obviously the American owners have pushed for this more Americanized model. It's going to be very interesting whether they decide to pull the plug or whether they really believe in it and are going to push through. I just don't see how
they're going to push through if there's hardly any clubs left in it. I mean, and plus as well, those other 5 clubs that they said were looking to join it, they ain't going to join now.
No.
They ain't going to join now, are they?
There's no chance. Well, but basically, they're left with like an 8-team league right now. You know, it probably wouldn't make the money they were even hoping for anyway. I don't think anyone would want to sponsor this. I think it's dead in the water. But the big thing Arsenal need to do is, I know it seems a really kind of petty thing. Don't be the last to pull out. Oh, well, everyone's out. So no. There are clubs leading the way. Be at the forefront of it. I'm really passionate about that. Get out of this.
For me, the fact that, like you said, you've already said the clubs that are already talking about leaving and no mention of us, that speaks volumes already for me.
Absolutely.
That already speaks volumes, you know?
Absolutely.
You know, and do you know what? will these clubs ever be forgiven? Will they ever be forgiven by their fans for what they have tried to pull off? Because even if you pull out, yes, that's good that you've realized the errors of your ways, but you still tried to pull this off. You still tried to pull this off. So will the fans ever forgive them? Will Chelsea fans ever forgive their owners? They might do, because their owners done great things for them over the years. The Arsenal fans will never, ever forgive Kroenke for this. He was already not liked. Man United fans will never forgive the Glazers, especially when you hear of some of the shenanigans that they've gotten up to, right?
Yeah.
I don't. Liverpool fans, I don't think they're going to forgive their owners either.
No. Listen, Stan Kroenke, he went betting. He took all he owned. He bet, and it was all or nothing for me. I think. And if this somehow worked and Arsenal somehow came out of this better, I'm not saying that would have been right, but there might have been something salvageable from there. Then, if this went ahead and Arsenal genuinely ended up in it, and maybe in 10 years' time, people would have got on with it and said, what a great move in hindsight, blah, blah, blah. But it hasn't worked. And that's the nothing. He traded in all his chips and it did not work for him. And I think now there's more heat than ever before, where there was going to be leniency from people. Do you know, I've had people say to me, the Kroenkes aren't that bad. Look how much he spent on Pepe. Look at the Tierney signing, all this. It's not that bad. It's never, the spending was a big thing, but it wasn't just about the spending. And I think the heat will be on them more than ever. And the thing that's really hurt me, and I mean hurt because I'm emotional about this, Robbie, is that I honestly believe Arsenal are one of the most amazing, classiest football clubs in the world. I really do. I think we've got an amazing fan base. And I know every fan base mocks everyone, but I really believe we've got an unbelievable fan base. I think we've always had very classy footballers. We've always tried to play football the right way, promote youngsters. We've tried to be a very classy club on the whole for 99% of our history. But this doesn't represent an ounce of what Arsenal are about. And I think that will be what finally can drive the Kroenkes out. I really believe it can do this.
Listen, it'd be good. I differ from you. I don't see anything good that the Kroenkes have done since they've been here. Right. Right now, this is how I look at them. Since they took over this club.
Yeah.
Before they took over this club, Arsenal were winning league titles. Arsenal had a happy fan base. Arsenal had a great manager. Arsenal, they've taken over. We ain't won. We haven't even got near winning a title in their tenure.
Yeah.
They've showed no interest over the years in this club.
None.
Nothing. No interest. We've got a guy, he never turns up to games. You might see him at the odd cup final over the years. No interest whatsoever in this football club. Is only, the only thing he wanted out of it was to make money.
Yeah.
And what's happened in the past few days is, if you ever needed proof of that, has been the proof of it. Is that all he ever wanted to do was make money out of this club.
I couldn't agree more.
And the quicker he packs his bags and goes, I mean, this might be the moment when he goes. I mean, there's a lot of people saying in the chat that Ed Woodward has resigned at Manchester United. Again, a lot of these things are coming through. Sorry?
TalkSport sources. Woodward has resigned as chairman of Manchester United. Decision comes after the backlash over the European Super League. I mean, if you can get Woodward out of United, and by the way, he's one problem. There's the Glazers too. This is really possible. Please, everyone believe. Do you know what someone said to me? Someone said on Twitter, not going to call them out, but someone said, they said, stop telling the Kroenkes to get out. They own the club. Yeah, but they didn't build it, right? They didn't create it. They didn't make it what it is today. They just bought it when it suited them. Do not think that Arsenal Football Club are the Kroenkes. They're not. They're temporary custodians.
There are temporary custodians who are ruining the reputation of Arsenal Football Club. The one thing we've always been able to hang on to, even when we ain't been doing well, right? Even when we ain't been doing well, right? I've always had fans, I've always been able to say to fans, well, we're classy. You remember over the years, we haven't really spent them big money and things like
Completely
that.
it.
We've always been able to say, well, you know what? We're a classy club. We're not just about throwing loads of money at it. We do it in the right way. We've always been able to hang on to that until now. We're no longer that classy club. These guys have removed that.
Yeah.
The Cronkies have removed that word class from Arsenal with the actions that they have taken, with the shenanigans and what they've got up with. Remember, I want people to remember this, yeah? What about the rest of the clubs? They didn't care. When I heard that Florentino Perez saying that, this is great for football, I'm like, are you having a laugh? You've sold out every football club in Spain. You've sold out. I mean, when I was talking to some of my friends at my son's football earlier, some of the other parents, one of the parents said to me, he goes, what about Olympiacos? What about Benfica? What about Porto? Ajax? What about Spartak Moscow? All these clubs. What about them? They've all just... Florentino Perez. What about Valencia? He just sold out everybody, and it's the same with the Cronkies. What about Villa, Newcastle, Leicester, West Ham? What about them? It's just like, oh, we're off to make a load of money. Fuck you lot.
Yeah, it's exactly it.
The class is gone now. The class is gone. We're no longer that classy club. Not because of the fans, not because of the players, because of the Cronkies.
We were Arsenal. We were. People loved the football we played. I remember a period between 2007 to 2011, 12, 13, where people went, you know what? We know Arsenal aren't going to win the league, but we love watching you play. What a great side. What great players. Even when we weren't winning titles, we had that. And then even when people weren't sure about Wenger in or Wenger out and all that, people went, yeah, but what a classy man, right? What, he's trying to do it the right way. We had so much going for us. And it's just been absolutely tainted by the people above. I don't know what more to say, Robbie. We've said it. This is the moment to hammer in now. As I said, the fire's lit. We fuel it. We fuel it. We fuel it till we burn them away. Simple as that.
Yep. Jack Kelly says, Robbie, you've got a platform. Help us fans strip. We need to protest and get Cronky out. A lot of you guys saying that. Honestly, this is the time for them. And as I said, there are a lot of people saying that there are rumors going around that Arsenal have left, but they're rumors at this time. Yeah. Rumors at this time, right? That Arsenal have left. It's not confirmed. But it definitely looks like Manchester City have left. And definitely looks like Chelsea are leaving. So, and without those two, Bushan says, so glad that Chelsea have pulled out. Hope Arsenal follow too. Hope this will bring an end to the Cronkies too. Can anybody explain to me the 50 plus 1 model of the German clubs? Or basically what it is that in Germany, the fans own 50%, 50 plus 1%, get basically 51% of the club, and the owners own the other 49%. That means that's why you saw no German clubs involved in this, because the fans with that extra 1% ownership can block moves like this. Whereas at Arsenal, Manchester United, Manchester City, Chelsea, Liverpool, and Tottenham, it's not owned by us. It's owned by billionaire owners. So remember, the Cronkies own 100% of Arsenal Football Club.
Yeah.
And even previously, before that, they owned about 70%. So they could still have made this move. The only difference would have been is that they would have had to have notified the other 30% that this was going to happen, and it would have got out before it got out. So the model that is in Germany ensures that the fans protect the club against moves like this. And this is what we need in this country. We need that. Kevin says maybe Arsenal should follow the German club model where fans own 51% of the club shares when Kroenke leaves. I would love to see that, because the fans would never allow something like this to happen. Never, ever, ever. You know. Janine says, "Hi Robbie, Arsenal from Slovenia. Did you see what a protest can do? What fans can do? What power do we have? We need to end Kroenke." And this, you're saying that all along, aren't you, James? That this shows the power of what fans, if we really do get together and we really do make up a load of noise. I spoke to Tim Payton yesterday from the Arsenal Supporters Trust, and I remember saying to him afterwards, after we spoke, you know, what can we do, Tim? What can we do to stop this from happening? What do I do with this platform? What do you think is the best steps? And he said, Robbie, just make up as much noise as you guys can possibly do. And we all need to do that. And that will put pressure on the government. That will put pressure on the players. That will put pressure on the managers, everybody, right? And that's exactly what we've seen.
Yep.
The pressure of the fans. It's the fans that have done this.
Yeah, agreed.
Football fans around the world. And Enrique's put, it's time to go. And I tell you, you know what I mean? We were saying yesterday, Claude would be turning in his grave with the news that's been going on. He would have hated all this.
Yeah.
He would have hated all this, you know?
He would have.
Yeah. It's
crazy. The 50+1 thing is a great model that England should adopt from German football. But let's have it right. I don't want the Kroenkes to have that remaining 49. You know, that's nice, and if they can implement that, that is brilliant for football around the country. But I don't want the Kroenkes to have 0.001 of that. I want them out, gone. Go back to your franchises. Go back to your country where you understand the sport. Go. You don't get this club. You don't get English football. Get out. Finished. Done. There's no coming back from this. There's no coming back from this.
What I liked about the government, right, is that with this, in Boris Johnson, I'm not a big fan, but you know what? I'm gonna take my hat off to him. He has really put a lot of pressure, I feel, as well. You know, he said today, he goes, listen, he goes, I will even bring in law. I'll change laws. If these people don't realize that these clubs belong to the fans and that, I will even change laws to make sure that this don't happen. I think it's that sort of pressure. I think it's that sort of pressure that has got clubs like Chelsea and Manchester City spooked.
Yeah.
And let's be real now, as I said, you know, all right, they've left first. They've left first, and that's great. But let's be real right now, yeah? They've only left because the pressure.
Yeah. Because
they were all part of it. The secret moves behind the scenes, they're all part of it. What are they all going to do now? You know?
I completely agree.
They've got their tail between their legs, haven't they?
The other thing we've learned from this, I know Turkish is going to come in a sec and talk more about his views on the Kroenke stuff. So I just want to turn away from that for 1 second here. This plan for the Super League outraged people, and everyone got on it. UEFA was straight out with a statement. Every big entity was straight out with a statement, speaking about how bad it was. Everyone got on it, protested. Brilliant. I want that same energy for the wider problems in the world. Abuse, racism, everything else, because the sanctions they were talking about for being in this league, and basically the reaction to said league and the plans were all right, met with the right response, but we've seen they can do it for other issues too. And I just want to get that out there as we're going to go to Turkish now. Turkish, how you doing? You must be happy.
I'm excited. I can't lie to you, man. A couple of days ago, Rob, when we done that interview, I felt like it was a dark day for Arsenal, and it was. But there is actually a shining light right now. I can't believe in the last 50 minutes, you know, Woodward's resigned, Chelsea and City have dropped that. There's rumors of other clubs, you know, having to meet about it. It looks like it's all unfolding in front of our eyes. And what better thing to happen to move on to the true problem of the club, Kroenke, you know? At the end of the day, the European Super League is our problem. And I say our as in every single fan base. Kroenke is an Arsenal problem. And regardless of what happens with this European Super League, we need to get on Kroenke's back now. If you thought he ever had Arsenal's best intentions or our best intentions at heart, surely they must be gone now. Surely you can see what I've been banging on for 3 years now on AFTV, that he is the reason why everything is poor at the club. Leadership, everything, responsibility, ownership. It's all a problem. So as good as the European Super League, disbanding right now is, our problem still remains. Let's not give him another chance to form another deal down the line and in 5 years come out with a bulletproof plan. Let's make sure we finally can get all eyes on him, all pressure on him, and move on and take that plunge as a fan base, because there's no better time than now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you're spot on there. You're spot on there, and if this leads to his demise, this could be the first time since he's been at Arsenal that he's under serious pressure, because normally he just stays from afar and it means nothing. But now listen, this is with these teams leaving, with Man City, Chelsea, they're definitely coming out. I know there's rumors about Arsenal, there's rumors about other clubs, but they're coming out. This is going to be a crushing defeat for the Kroenkes, for the Glazers, for Florentino Perez. It's a crushing defeat for them.
Good.
They're going to have their tails between their legs, and it's embarrassing. And this ain't going to end here for any of those guys at those clubs. I think, maybe Chelsea and City, the fact that they've come out and they've done their fans might be, I know even in some of the comments, there's people saying things like, I'm proud of Chelsea. And as I said earlier, don't be proud of your owners, be proud of the fans, right? But they might get forgiven. The City guys, the Chelsea guys, they might get forgiven. Kroenke, Glazers, Florentino Perez, they're not getting forgiven. I know as well in Italy, they're very, very mad with Gazidis and Inter Milan, and the Juventus owner in particular. There's a lot of rumors that the Juventus owner's resigned.
This is brilliant.
But
I need to hear some good news, Rob. I need to hear some good news. Tottenham got rid of Mourinho. Ed Woodward's left United. Juventus's guy has gone. Please, Kroenke, if there's any... listen,
even you say that. Tottenham's guy as well must be on... what's his name? Daniel Levy. He'll be under heavy pressure as well.
Immense.
He chose to invest in a stadium instead of players and winning stuff because of this. Kroenke hung out Wenger to drive for years because of this. He allowed the club to go from invincibles to top 4 to top 6 to 10th because of this. This is a major blow, and we need to ride the wave off the back of it as a fan base. We need to do it because, there's no greater time than to apply pressure now. I don't see a better opportunity.
Turkey.
I'm reading. Sorry, just before you think there, I'm reading here from Fabrizio Romano that Ed Woodward has resigned as Manchester United executive vice chairman because of the Super League situation. And he goes on to say Man City and Chelsea intend to leave. We know that. United fans are going to be very happy about that. But we need our guys gone.
Yep.
Yeah.
Watch our guys trying to hold on for dear life.
Of course they will. Of course they will. But this is the Glazers are still a problem for United, but that's a really good step for them. And look, I know they're rivals, but as we said, this thing was bigger than football. It was bigger than just the individual clubs. I'm weirdly happy for them. I'm not going to lie. But Turkish, this is doable. Like everything you spend fan cams. How are you happy about the 5-0 win today? Yeah, well, the Kroenkes are still here. Like that's been you. And I love it. I'll never forget your FA Cup final fan cam where you said, great, we've won it, but they're still here. Where's the next step? And this is the Super League was a dark day, and the last few days have been dark days for football. But for Arsenal and the clubs involved, when you see Woodward and what's happening, this might just be that very thing that actually gets them out. Because I think it felt like an impossible task before, but now it doesn't. Doesn't feel like an impossible task.
Sell Arsenal. Sell Arsenal. Sell Arsenal. Kroenke out. Kroenke out. This is what us Arsenal fans need to be saying for the last few weeks of the season. And this is what we're going to need to be saying throughout the summer. Sell Arsenal, Kroenke out. I wanted to leave that out aside because of the negativity around it. But he brought the negativity upon himself. He brought that sourness now upon himself. He deserves it. Either you're saying sell Arsenal or you're saying Kroenke out. One or the other. Let's just align now as a fan base. We don't have to like each other. We don't have to agree with each other. But we all know now the poison is Kroenke. Let's just do it.
So I'm reading here that Agnelli is resigning from Juventus, and also Florentino Perez apparently under heavy pressure to resign as well from Real Madrid. And of course he was one of the first. I mean, the only thing I would say for him is at least he was about the only one out of them rats that fronted up and said something about it, even though, you know, some of the things.
He was the puppet. He was the puppet. Yeah. All of them lot knew they couldn't be the face of it because no one knows them. But with Perez, he goes back with Real Madrid. We all know him. He was just there. They're all richer than he is. Him being the chairman is them placing him as chairman.
Yeah, it's true.
I was also reading a thing that Kevin De Bruyne had put on his Twitter account. He says, "This man comes out of a little in Belgium, dreaming of playing at the stage possible. I've represented Belgium, German and English league, and also can you still?
I can hear you.
We can hear you.
Okay, you've lost me. You can still hear me. All right, I'll continue on. Right. He says, and I've also proudly represented my country. I've worked and competed against everybody, trying to win the ultimate. But the most important word in this is competing. With all the events that are happening the last few days, maybe this is a good moment for everybody to come together and to try and work for a solution. We know this is a big business, and I know I'm part of this business, but I'm still a little boy who just loves playing football. It's not about a certain entity in this case. It's about the football all over the world. Let's keep inspiring the next generation of footballers and keep the fans dreaming." Yeah. And that, you know, once the footballers starting to turn, there's trouble. I'm going to try and set up my camera again.
There's no product without the players. There's no, you know, none of this exists without the players. Oh, I feel reinvigorated. I really do.
Yes, my mind is in overdrive. My mind is in overdrive. Yeah. We need to do something. We need to do something. We're in tomorrow. We need to talk and
absolutely.
And, you know.
Yeah, because we've got to keep the pressure on now. Because I think, you know what, it's something that I was saying earlier when I was doing the stream. I said over the years, right, I've got loads of abuse. Turkish. People like DT, many fans who've come on AFTV and have complained about the owners, how things are running at the club. We've been accused of being disloyal. You guys ain't Arsenal fans. You're disloyal. Why are you talking against the club? And I used to say to people, listen, we're providing a platform for people to have their say. And people are not happy. And if they're not happy, they're entitled to say that they're not happy. And they've been saying it over the years. And sometimes we've been criticized. People have said, oh, you guys it's embarrassing having these guys on. Hold on. These are passionate Arsenal fans that love their football club. And when they see their football club being ruined because of money, they're going to talk out. And I think what's happened over the last couple of days is that people have seen now. People have seen what a lot of fans have been talking about for a very, very long time. You know, the plaster has been taken off and everybody sees that deep wound at our club.
And you know what? We'll debate whether Arteta is the right man for the job, whether certain players are good enough for this club. You know, and those debates still should happen, but they have to be the undertone to the bigger problem. I'm really sorry. No one can properly judge Arteta or these players or whatever when there's an ownership and a running of the club from up there that is just absolutely catastrophic. That is the main focus. And we'll all have different opinions about the club, and that's fine. That's the beauty of football and fandom, and that's okay. But please I cannot hear anyone surely defend the Cronkies in this situation. It is done for them. It's done. You had the people who hated them and wanted them out, and then you had the people who thought they weren't that bad. Maybe they weren't really such a big problem. No, now we know. No one ever said they were great owners, and now they've come to our side. Get it done. Get it done.
Let's not forget, because we've easily forgot things in the past, and I think this is something we can't forget. You know, what they tried to do this time, we can't forget. We seem to forget what they did to one of our, if not the greatest manager of all time in Arsene Wenger. We've seen what they did, but we forgot. Yeah, let's not forget this one now. Let's not forget this one, because us football fans can be fickle. We can, you know, wake up the next morning and think that was just history. You know, the thought of a European Super League in one day, out the next.
Yeah.
Who cares? Let's still go and support. Rob mentioned, you know, how much abuse and criticism he has received, I have received, others have received. That's because a lot of fans have been watching Arsenal with a blindfold for the past 15 years, for the past 10 years. And they screamed that negativity is killing our club. AFTV didn't start at a time when Arsenal were winning. It started at a time where someone like Chris Hudson came on and literally, you know, screamed his guts out about the ownership and about the chairman and about the manager and about how bad it was in the first few interviews. That's nothing created by no fan channel. That's nothing to do with Robbie. You know, the blind positivity of this fan base has hurt us a lot more than any rant, any negativity, any meme. Yeah. So like I said before, we don't have to like each other, because I don't like a lot of Arsenal fans too for the way they tried to treat me about the Kroenke protest I tried to hold 2 years ago. But I don't have to like you. What we can do is align. We can align towards one vision. And that one vision has to be now Kroenke out, sell Arsenal. That's all I can hear. I'm not hearing anything else anymore.
I remember Turkish, going way back. Mo, you guys do the Forever Arsenal with Mo.
Yeah.
And Mo was so disgusted with how the club was going. He came up with this thing and he said, what was it? Was it you spend, we spend? And he got slated. He got absolutely slated. People, even some racial abuse, some disgusting things said about him because of the campaign he was trying to start. But I remember at the time, what he was trying to start, he was right, because he was saying, you know, we're spending a lot of money as fans and we're not seeing it in return, and we're not seeing no ambition. So he was basically saying, I'm not going to do any more spending until I see the club start spending. And he tried, and, you know, it fizzled out, and, you know, but I think this is a moment now, you know, as I said, the rats are leaving the sinking ship. We don't know when our rat's going to leave, right? But, you know, the rats are leaving the sinking ship. When that ship sinks, we got to keep the pressure on. We cannot allow this now to continue, that we've got an owner who never, ever says anything to the fans, never, ever talks to the fans, and can have the audacity to try and pull off something like this. And as I said, I don't know about you guys, but this has ruined our club. It's ruined. It's going to leave a bad stain on our club for years and years and years, because fans of other clubs are thinking, boy, your owners, man, they tried to sneak this through. We stopped them, but they tried to sneak it through. You know, and that's never going to be forgotten. The class that we've always prided ourselves on at Arsenal has been ruined by these people, the Cronkies. We can't call ourselves that classy club no more.
It's mad to me.
We didn't even have the class to be the first people to pull out.
Yeah. Well, listen, look at the ownership, Rob. Remember, we've done a couple of videos over the last couple of days, and James as well. I said I look at Roman and Sheikh Mansour a bit different. It doesn't seem like they was brought to the table for planning. It just seems like they was brought to the table because, you know, the size of their wallet and the stature of their clubs. City and Chelsea are the most successful English clubs of the last decade, you know, domestically for sure. So them two pulling out is massive. Them two pulling out is bigger than Arsenal and Tottenham pulling out at this moment in time. So as ownership goes, yeah, I'd prefer to have an owner like Roman or Sheikh that at least, you know, they've taken the risk a stupid risk.
What I'd say, what I'd say on that Turkish is they can turn around and say we made a misjudgment.
Yeah.
And their fans will believe them because I think the quickness in which they pulled out and that they might be able to say we misjudged the situation. We're sorry.
Yeah.
Our guy has not misjudged it. We know he's been planning this for a very long time. And this guy calling himself Ty's Headphones, he says, is Vinay someone to blame as well?
100%. Sorry,
CEO
James.
of Arsenal. Yeah, get in the bin. Yeah.
All of them have been in bed with each other. Edu and Arteta is just the care package. It's just the surface level. They smile at the cameras and they talk to us. They wore the club shirt before. They won an FA Cup, a captain, all of that. That's just what they sell us. Vinay, Raul, Kroenke, Gazidis, Wenger, all of them were a big part of all of this that's happened now. This has been coming from 07, 09. There's a lot of rats on this ship at Arsenal, there's a lot. Sir Chips Keswick, Hillwood, obviously, rest in peace. But he was a big part of what's happened to Arsenal Football Club now. David Dean, whether right or wrong with some of his introductions, big part of it. There's the problems have been coming for a long time, but finally they've reached the forefront. And it's come in a way that I could never imagine, that fan bases of Arsenal, Tottenham, Chelsea, City, Liverpool, United have all been shown that we are customers, not fans. I've felt like a customer for a long time, but they haven't told us we're customers. Essentially, that's what they told us with this move. You're customers.
Oh, no, you're a legacy fan, Turkish.
Yeah, that's it. Legacy fan, aka customers. They just painted it with a nice brush. If I'm a legacy fan, bring back the badge and the club that I know. Because it started back then, Highbury to Emirates, the badge changing, all of that modernization. Here we are now. The big plan, Kroenke, is failed. Remember he dismissed Usmanov's bid a couple of years ago. Usmanov bid over the odds for Arsenal Football Club. High shares for Arsenal Football Club. Kroenke said no. At that time, I thought this guy just wants to hold on to it and pass it down to his kids. No, the Super League was coming. It's not coming right now, is it? It's not coming right now, and you're can head out with it.
Absolutely right. We have learned so much in the last few days. You rattled a lot of names. I just want to, I more than me about the situation. I like to think Wenger, whether he knew or not, didn't play a part in this. But a lot of people did. This can spark a mass clear out for the club in the right way. I never thought the day that Ed Woodward left Man United, the incompetence of the man, that I'd be happy about it. But because of what it symbolizes, I'm delighted. I'm so happy. I really shouldn't be. This could be the start of United being run properly again. I don't want that.
But you know what? The Glazers need to leave Man United as well, because he could be just a fall guy. Yeah, he could just be the fall guy. So you know what? We might even see something like that at our place. It means Vinay resigning. To me, the Kroenkes need to go. The Glazers need to go. Yeah. Ed Woodward works for the Glazers. Ed Woodward works for the Glazers. The Glazers give him the instructions, and he has to go and carry it out. You never know. He might have well have been saying to the Glazers, you know what? Should we speak to the fans? And they're like, no. Everything. This is top secret. Yeah. The Glazers need to go. The Kroenkes need to go. The guys that was at FSG at Liverpool, they need to go.
Yeah, I hope to God this is true. I hope to God this super chat.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of rumors out there that are saying that we don't know if some of these things are true. We don't know if some of these things are true. I'd love that them be true, but we don't know. You know what it's like at these times. Lots of rumors flying around the place. We're hearing that Arsenal. That's one of the rumors that Arsenal are pulling out, but nothing confirmed with that yet.
I just want to say, guys, there's a great thing though, because you're spot on, Robbie. Okay, Woodward's gone, and that's great, but there's the Glazers still. But we got one brilliant thing in this situation when it comes to Vinay and the Kroenkes. Vinay was only recently made the CEO of Arsenal. Before that, he was basically joint with Raul Sanyehi, and before that, he was kind of involved, but not the level he is now. He's pretty new to the job, and the eyes haven't been on him like they've been on Woodward for many years now. Woodward's incompetence has shone through for many years now. Arsenal can see one common almost denominator in our failings, and that is the Kroenke and no one else. No one can say Wenger. No one can say, you know, a Gazidis or a Woodward in that situation. It's just Kroenke from start to finish. The mess has come under his watch. So I think that really suits us because, all right, Vinay maybe has a lot to answer for this situation, but I'm not worried about that right now. I'm looking at the bigger picture as you guys are and as we all should be, and we'll deal with that later down the line. And I think that's one advantage we have in this situation.
A competent owner, a competent, ambitious owner comes into the club and clears the deck anyway. So I couldn't care less about Vinay and Edu and Arteta at the moment. That's why it's easy to talk about Arteta and the players every week because we see them every week. They talk to us every week. But essentially, look what's been going on behind the scenes. All of that on the pitch hasn't necessarily mattered because to the big dogs upstairs, they're still signing the club away without, you know, a care in the world, you know, protection at all costs. 23 years, no relegation. Nonsense. And the fact Chelsea and City, who are the most successful English clubs of the last decade, have come out first to leave it, it's embarrassing again. It's a double embarrassment that it's not one of us, Arsenal, Tottenham, Liverpool, United, clubs that, you know, historically might have come through love, local fans and all that. You can't taint them with the ownership money that's come in. But no, they've led the way. Chelsea and Man City have led the way. Roman, Russian owner, Sheikh Mansour, Arab owner, they've led the way.
Isn't it interesting, right, that they've been able to read the mood? Because and the American owners haven't, but they've been able to read the mood. You know what I mean? The you know, Abramovich and the City owners have read the mood, and they're like, "Nah, man, this ain't right." No. And they both those two owners as well, despite the millions that they've spent, have got good relationship with their fans.
Yeah.
You know, they've got a good relationship with their fans because of what they've not. It's not just been the money they've spent on their club; it's what they've done in their communities and stuff like that. They've had. That's why their fans have been shocked at them getting involved in this. But when it comes to our owners, and when it comes to the guys at United, they're not. They're like, no, we knew this. We knew, and notice that nothing from them.
Nothing. Look, this is the first time Roman and Sheikh Mansour have broken the trust between them and the fans. The first time, well, from where I'm sitting anyway. How many times has Kroenke broken the trust of us Arsenal fans? How many times?
He's never had no trust.
Well, he had his trust through Arsene Wenger, you know, and we trusted Arsene Wenger, in turn trusting Stan Kroenke, because Arsene Wenger's the one that told us, you know, let's go with this guy rather than Usmanov. We believed him. Like you said, Rob, you're bang on. We didn't trust Kroenke. But at the end of the day, Kroenke let our greatest ever manager hung out to dry. But we forgave him. Maybe not forgave him, but we gave him a clean slate. We gave him a clean slate after Emery. Are we going to give him another clean slate next? Let's not. Regardless of negativity and all this, we can see what's been going on behind the scenes now. A bit of negativity, or what I like to call reality, is much needed right now by a lot of our fans.
100%. But just for anyone who's coming on, and you know, I think we're going to come off. We've been doing it nearly an hour. We're going to jump off, I think, and then we'll come back again later on. Let's see what happens over the, you know, or if anything breaks on Arsenal, we'll be straight back on as well. But just to give everybody an update as to why we've gone live, the rumors are Manchester City definitely pulling out of this European Super League. Chelsea pulling out of the European Super League as well. There's rumors of Atletico Madrid pulling out. There's stories of the owner of Juventus resigning.
Yeah.
You know, Florentino Perez is under extreme pressure at Real Madrid. No news yet about Arsenal, although there are a lot of rumors that Arsenal are pulling out as well. Basically, the rats are deserting the sinking ship. This is great news for football. Great news that this ridiculous European Super League funded by billionaires who only wanted to line their pockets without no thought for the fans, without even any thought for the players. Not even their own players they told about this, or managers. This is not going to happen. The minute these, well, if they go on and continue with it, you know what? Continue with it, right? Continue with it like fools. It's going to end. It's going to end. It's not going to happen. This is the beginning of the end of it. What we do, as I said, you know, thanks James, thanks Turkish. We're going to jump back on as soon as we hear any update about Arsenal. If not, we'll come back on later anyway. Let's see, you know, let's see what happens over the, you know, the next few hours. We'll come back on later and we'll kind of have a refresh. Maybe Kroenke might get on the phone to Turkish and tell him.
Yeah, mate.
He wants to meet with you, you know what I mean? Because
it was a phone, get in the boot, mate. That's what I'll tell him.
I don't like Stan, but good luck to him if he gets on a phone call with Turkish. Oh my word!
I'll track that down. You know, taken.
I'm not sure he even deserves that. Bloody hell! Oh my
I'll
word!
I'll find you.
At the moment, it looks like this is happening, guys. It's falling apart. It's falling apart, and it's great news for every football fan, particularly us at Arsenal and all those so-called Big Six. It's great news that this is falling apart. Thanks, and we'll be back with an update a little later on.